Hello, this is Paul Mampilly for Profits Unlimited, and this is our second video series that we're going to be posting up on YouTube and also posting on my Facebook page. And in this series of videos, I'm going to talk generally about things that are going on in the market and more broadly about things like the mega trends and the themes that are represented in our portfolios, both in Profits Unlimited as well as in our other services. So many times people ask me, Paul, how do you come about your investment ideas? And a second question that comes along is that how come so many of your stocks are doing so well, and even though the stock market by itself hasn't gone up quite as much? And for me, it really starts in a way like a pyramid. I start at the very top in terms of thinking of a theme, which comes about from reading a lot of magazines, a lot of books, a lot of trade journals online, news stories, and through it, I start to put together a picture of some technical development, which is now mature enough that it's starting to become a good business, a substantial business, and one that can grow for many years to come. The best example of this that those of you who are subscribers know is the Internet of Things. Now, the Internet of Things is not something new. It's really been in development for nearly over a decade or so. And if you look at it, you'll see that it's comprised of many different parts. One part, for example, is sensors or chips, semiconductors. These are the measuring devices. These are things that monitor and track and accumulate data. The next step is that they communicate it through a network. These are the wireless phone networks, the broadband networks. And then from there, they have to be stored someplace. These are the data server farms. And once this data is stored, somebody has to make sense of all this data. And that's done by the big data algorithm companies, software companies, and that will morph itself over time into artificial intelligence. And so these are the various different component parts of Internet of Things. And it's this picture of the Internet of Things has come about through time from sort of seeing all these businesses first come up separately and then seeing the connections between these different things. Let's take another example of another megatrend it's in Profits Unlimited, and that's precision medicine. This too has been unfolding really since we decoded the genome in the late 1990s, and our ability to understand what really drives disease as well as change in the human body now comes down to genes, and through genes, through enzymes and proteins. And now we are able to start to make medicines that really get at the actual disease. Whereas before we were just using chemicals that had some probability of being able to change whatever disease we have. However, for a lot of people, it didn't work. For some people, it worked really well, and we didn't always know who it worked for and who it didn't work for until after you took it. So precision medicine gets the medicine that is going to work for you based on your genetic code. And we do that through a mix of collecting data and trying to match you to the exact medication that will work for you. So this is another megatrend that is playing out right now and is represented heavily across all my three services. The other trend that I talk about a lot is the emergence of this generation of young Americans called the millennials. This is a generation that is going to be the largest generation in American history. Goldman Sachs estimated it as large as 92 million strong, and that would be approximately 1 out of every 3 people in the United States. Obviously, this many people coming of age, starting to earn large amounts of money, their preferences, their choices are going to make a massive impact. People who cannot attract the millennials as customers are going to see their growth decline, are going to see their businesses decline. And the businesses that are going to be able to attract the millennial generation as customers, they're going to see their growth continue to go up, because the millennial generation, by coming of age, I mean that they're arriving at 34, 35 years old. This is the age at which their incomes are going to start rising and continue to rise. This is the age at which they buy houses, have children. And so you're going to see their preferences and choices start to begin to dominate the US economy and certainly dominate the growth part of the US economy. And so this is another focus for me in all of my services. Now to two megatrends that I'm actively researching right now and that you can look forward to seeing stock picks around. One is around a technology that's affecting finance, and that's blockchain. Many of you would know blockchain because of virtual currencies like Bitcoin. However, the underpinning Bitcoin is this very, very robust, very good technology called blockchain that provides a very high level of security and that is ideal and perfect for financial transactions. And I'm looking at companies and stocks that are looking to use blockchain. And so this is going to be a future megatrend that you'll see across my services. And the second one is in energy, where we are transitioning from carbon energy to various forms of energy, some of which you're familiar with in terms of solar and wind, other ones which are more emerging, which are lithium and hydrogen. And then there's also a change in the form in which we're using this energy. We want our energy to be more portable, and so it's going to be smaller. We want our energy to be able to be stored. And so this is also going to change the way our energy infrastructure is going to be situated. And the last thing we're looking for is for it to be more local. And this is going to mean massive change for energy infrastructure, which is a very large part of our economy. And once again, there's going to be large winners and there will be large losers. And that's a big feature really across everything that I'm looking at, which is there's one world which is starting to move away in which you're going to see large losers. And there's the emergence of a new world where there are going to be massive, incredible winners, winners that are going to be where you can generate thousands of % in return potentially as a result of it. So that's my video for this week. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I hope you'll view the channel, and I'll have another one for you in 2 weeks. Until then, this is Paul Mampilly signing off.